So I may have bought some seeds. May have actually bought a lot of seeds. In my defense, there was a sale, and I hadn't bought any seeds from this company before. I wanted to try them out, and I'm pretty excited. If you're new around here, then hi, I'm Kiri. I'm a micro homesteader, and on this channel we talk about all things micro homesteading. We're growing indoors hydroponically to growing outdoors in the garden, and a few other ways you can become a little bit more self-sufficient and less reliant on the grocery store. Today we are here to talk about my epic seed haul from Renee's Gardens. I have not bought any seeds from here before, and so I decided I should probably try and buy almost all the seeds this time. I have like 50 seed packages that I got. They had an amazing sale. Thought it would be fun to kind of show you guys what I bought, go through, tell you guys what I'm thinking, when I'm going to grow these. Some of these I will grow this year. Most of them are going to be saved for next year, but that's okay because I have them. And I'm not sure if I like buying the seeds more or growing the seeds more, because buying the seeds is pretty damn fun. Okay, let's take a look at what I got. Now, one thing I will say is I did get a lot of container varieties. I really like that about Renee's, and it's something I haven't really seen in a lot of seed companies. They actually call out which ones are good for containers. Given that I'm growing in a small space and a lot of you guys are growing in a small space, I really want to do more focusing on specific varieties that are going to grow well when you don't have much room. So I'm going to be focusing on them a lot for next year, so I wanted to scoop those up while I saw them. I will probably get some more, but for now I got a few. One of the first ones I got was this straight 8 cucumber. This is an organic variety and heirloom, and y'all know I love heirlooms because I'm an heirloom snob. Now, that said, a lot of these are not heirlooms, but that's okay. It felt important enough to kind of branch out from just sticking to the heirlooms to focus a bit more on things that will grow better in small spaces. Next one I got, this is the first of the containers. This is a container zucchini called Astia. It is an F1 hybrid, and zucchinis can take over, so being able to find one that is compact enough to grow in a container, I thought that would be really good to try. This is neat. They have on the back too, calling out when to plant for cold winters and mild winters. That is neat. I am definitely in the cold winter category. Days to harvest, 48. Okay, we are going to plant this one this year, because I have about 100, just over 100 days left until my first frost. If you guys are planning for your fall garden and you want a workbook, I'll include it in the description below, but I made a fall planting guide, which kind of works you through figuring out how many days you have left until your first frost, which will tell you how many days you have left to plant things. So I'll put that down below, and hopefully it helps. But I am definitely going to be planting this one this year, so I will put that in a separate pile. Next, we have the Curran Kabocha winter squash. Again, this one is an F1 hybrid. This one is 95 days to harvest. But the kabocha squash is supposed to be super sweet, very much like a buttercup squash. I have grown the buttercup. I have not grown the kabocha, which I am probably saying wrong. Next, in the container varieties, we have the Romeo carrots. They are little round carrots, and these are 60 days to harvest. I am definitely going to be growing these as well. I think I'm going to be setting up one of my GreenStalks out front, and these guys are going to be going in that. Maybe I'll even push the boundaries and put the zucchini in the GreenStalk. I may have to try that. Next, beans and peas. I haven't really grown a lot of dried beans, and then I saw this one. It was the heirloom dry bean soup mix, so I'm going to definitely give this one a try. Pushing the limits for about 85 to 92 days, so these ones would need to go in now. I'm not sure if I'm going to plant these ones this year or not, but I thought that would be good. This one is a mix of Painted Pony, Hidasta Red Italian, Yellow Italian Woman, and Jacob's Cattle, none of which I have tried. Next, we have container French beans. These are the Muscats, and these ones are 54 days to harvest. Probably pop some of these in the GreenStalk as well. I just want to show you guys what is possible. I tried to get something from every type of plant, even some fruits that we can grow in containers. Next, these ones I have been wanting to get for a long time, but I can never find them. The heirloom cannellini bush beans. These ones are 85 to 92 days to dried, but these ones are supposed to have like a really nice melt in your mouth type texture, which, so you don't have like the grittiness that some beans have. Want to basically grow some things to build up the pantry a bit more and focus on that more this year, on actually not just growing the stuff during the season, but actually preserving and putting up more of my food, because I'm always striving to become that little bit more self-sufficient, and hopefully these beans along with those soup beans will help me get there. Another container variety, this is the Little Crunch Sugar Snap Peas, and honestly, sugar snaps are my favorite type of pea, like my absolute favorite. And they can go pretty wild, so being able to find some that you can grow in a container I thought was pretty neat. Now, you can try and grow just about anything in a container. It'll either get stunted and dwarfed. Having determined that tomatoes growing in containers that are far too small in my Done is Better Than Perfect garden. I'll put a link up above to the June garden tour where I talk a little bit more about that. Hoping these ones are ones that are suited to growing in a container, so that it means that you're not going to have less harvest because you have grown it in less than ideal conditions, because these ones, the container is more of the ideal condition for them. These little sugar snaps are 58 to 60 days to maturity, so it would probably be fun to actually do these in a container and then maybe some regular sugar snaps in a container planted at the same time and just see how they compare, because y'all know I love a good experiment. Almost as much as I love heirloom seeds. Next we have the tricolored bush beans. These ones I thought they were pretty. They're 55 days to harvest, so I still have time to get some of these in the ground. And that's a really important thing. So many people, especially if you're a new gardener, think that you plant everything when it's in the stores in the spring. There's so much stuff that is better if it is planted midsummer for a fall harvest. And if there's a space in the garden, my aim is to put something in. Beside me, you guys can't see, I'll put it up on the screen, I have some seedlings that I've started on my new grow mat. I'll be having a video coming out about that soon. But I'm starting my seedlings to go out. I have kohlrabi, turnips, Romanesco broccoli, cauliflower, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, what else do I have over there? Chinese cabbage, and some leeks that are all going to be ready to be transplanted out in the garden when there's space. My garlic is going to be coming out soon. I'm going to be putting in more carrots. So I'm constantly planning. There's so much time in the growing season that you can have succession planning of either the same varieties or just planting something different in the space that's becoming freed up. Because when you're growing in a small space, you want to make use of any space whenever it's there. It's just important to know how many days you have left until the frost, and that free fall planting guide will help you figure that out. Next, we have these nickel fillet baby bush beans. These ones just looked really, really thin, and personally I like a really thin French bush bean, so I was very happy to find these ones. 54 days to maturity, so these ones are going in the garden. Probably in the GreenStalk. This is my first year with my GreenStalks. I have the leaf growing outside right now, which is full, and I'm pretty happy with it. I still have to get the 2 originals set up, which is my task for this weekend, and so I can be growing more, but it's really freeing up a lot of space. Here we have a container variety of jalapenos. These are the early flames. These are 75 days. Peppers really like the warmth, so I'm probably not going to push this one for right now, but there's a very good chance I'm going to be growing this one hydroponically, so I will set that one aside into the hydroponic pile. And I had just recently done a poll on Instagram asking you guys if I should be growing a sea of basil or if I should be growing the baby cauliflower. It was a tie, so I am going to grow both of them, which, if I'm being honest, I was probably going to grow both of them anyways. Even though there was a tie, I am going to grow the baby cauliflower first because I'm really, really excited to try it out, honestly. I would never have thought of growing cauliflower in my rise garden. And then when they sent this one to me, I was like, yes, absolutely, I need to try that. I have not been able to grow cauliflower very well outdoors. I also don't like how much space it takes up. I would rather give up a bunch of space in my rise garden during the summer when I'm not relying on it to grow my food during the winter to try something out. Then we will do the sea of basil because I need to make some pesto and I want to put that up for the winter. But we need to get back to the seed haul. I picked up some more peppers. These are the Corno di Toro peppers, probably butchering that. And these are a sweet pepper. I'm really growing less of the hot varieties or the really hot varieties, focusing more on the sweet or like the jalapeno level heat, because I'm a baby when it comes to heat. Growing stuff that I'm not going to eat just because it's cool or fun. Sometimes I'll still do that and then share with other people, but I really want to focus more, like I said, on putting out more food and preserving more food. So I need to be growing the stuff we're actually going to eat. So one of the things that I've seen that Renee does more is they tend to give you mixes of seeds, which is kind of cool if you want to try things out. But if you get a mix of seeds, how do you know which one is which in case you like it and you want to grow more of it? Well, what they do, because they are some smart cookies over there, they actually color code the seeds, if that goes into focus. So one of them is going to be pink, one of them is undyed, and then you will know which one is which. So I love that. So these ones I'm going to save for next year. And then another container variety. These are the Pizza My Heart peppers. These are heavy, thick-walled, cone-shaped little peppers that have a crunchy texture, sweet flavor, and occasional bit of mild spice. This is another one that's going to go into the hydroponic pile because I just don't think I'm going to have enough days to really get this going outside and give it a fair chance. Another cutie for the container, this is the Little Prince container eggplant. I am also growing the Thai frog eggplant from Baker Creek, which is a very small one. So I think that one might be another good container one. I have that just growing out in the garden right now, but I think that would be another good one to try. This one I'm probably going to put in a container. That says 65 days. We're going to put this in the GreenStalk. Some Kohlrabi. This is the Crispy Colors Kohlrabi duo. So we have a green and a purple. So Kohlrabi is something I haven't really grown that much. I do have some out in the garden now. I haven't tried the green variety, so I'm excited that this one has both. It is Nebraska, so it is cold hardy, but because I already have some out in the garden, I'm going to save this one for next year. Lettuce. If we're going to grow in containers and we want to grow a good chunk of our food, we're going to need some lettuce. Now, lettuce can grow fine in containers, any lettuce. But these ones were baby butterhead lettuce, and I love butter lettuce. It is so good. And this one, it looks like you can grow a couple of them in a container. It says the compact heads are only 5 to 6 inches at maturity. So we are going to try some of these in the GreenStalk. Next, I did grab a few onions. These ones are the heirloom Italian scallions. I love onions. They are so handy. These are 60 to 65 days. So again, these ones are going to go into the GreenStalk. The other onions I got were the long keeping rainbow trio. So this one, these are all F1 hybrids. This one is Cherry Mountain, Saffron, and Diamond Swan. I got these ones because it did say that they were long keeping, and I really want to have some varieties that I can braid and keep over the winter. I do have a variety of heirloom onions that I've grown from seed that are doing fantastic out in the garden. Not all of them are long keepers, so I thought I would give these a try, but this will be next year. In terms of herbs, I got another basil because basil is probably one of my favorites. This is a Profuma di Genova. I have not tried it before. I'm always game for a new basil. And then this is another cool thing that Renee's does. So this is a gigantic seed package compared to the other ones, and it just contains a variety of different ones. They had this one is the container herb garden collection that I grabbed. They did have another one that was the basic, like I think it was called the kitchen garden, container kitchen garden or something like that. It was the other more vegetable one. I did get most of the varieties that were in that. That was those Romeo round carrots, the baby butterheads, some of the tomatoes that I'll show you in a minute because you know I got a ton of tomato seeds. And I did. I will not disappoint when it comes to tomatoes. But anyway, so that one was out of stock, so I grabbed what ones they had individually to show you guys, and this I thought was neat because they just had all of the different herbs in here. So it actually, okay, so I was on a seed buying binge, and I obviously was not paying enough attention. So this package contains the slow boat cilantro, the Profuma di Genoa basil, but that's okay because I love basil, so it will all get used. But that is funny. The fine leaf chives, the Ducat dill, and the Thailand gigante parsley. Exciting, well suited to growing in containers, and it's even on the front of the package telling me that it was in there. See, this is what happens when I buy seeds. I just buy all of the seeds. Apparently even ones that I already have in my cart. Heirloom English thyme. This one is an organic seed. I have some other thyme. I don't think I have English thyme. I have another one of the container herbs. I have this white ice lavender. I have some purple lavender that I already had out in my garden, but this is a white one which I thought would be really pretty. And then I got this special Spanish lavender. It just makes me smile with its little fingers waving. Anyways, so I'm going to give that one a try. We're getting there, guys. I told you there was a lot of seeds. A couple of fruits. I picked up some of the Mignonette Alpine strawberries. These are a French delicacy. I do have some Alpine strawberries already. They are much tinier than regular strawberries, like the tip of your pinky size. They're skinny, but wow, they have such a pop of flavor. So I'm hoping that these Mignonette ones are the same, and so we'll have to wait and see. I also picked up these heirloom pineapple Alpine strawberries. Try some of those and see how they taste. Now, I have started harvesting my pine berries. Word on the street was they tasted like pineapple. Not sure I agree. They're a bit tangier than a regular strawberry. They're still good, don't get me wrong. Put a picture here of one of the ones that I harvested. So far, I'm not thinking they taste like pineapple, but I would still continue growing them. Put the link up above to my pineberry video. How cool is this? Personal sized watermelon. So they're supposed to be tiny. This is an F1 hybrid. It says on here they are super productive, easy to grow, and are perfect for large containers and small gardens. It says 70 days. Let's go. We'll do a couple of these as well. I have no idea where this is going. Well, except for all the things that are going in the GreenStalk. You might have to get really creative on space because it's pretty full. Tomatoes. Lots of tomatoes. So we will start with this one. It is an organic seed, Tasmanian chocolate tomatoes. They are good for containers. The chocolate tomatoes tend to be more smoky flavored. I think we're gonna wait for next year on this one. We'll see. It says 80 days. Oh my goodness. Forget it. We'll do it. It's in the grow pile. Next, we have this heirloom slicing Chianti rose tomato. It's a beefsteak, fabulous flavor, and a cross between the pink brandywine and a treasured family variety from Italy. So a little bit secret. Next, we have the Little Bites. This is an F1 hybrids. Just quickly, a hybrid does not mean it's bad. I am the self-proclaimed heirloom snob, but that's just because I like to be able to keep my own seeds, and I love the stories and the history that comes with heirloom varieties. But hybrids are not bad. In some cases, they will grow better for you. The fact that they make them a hybrid is they are trying to take the best of different varieties and put them into one. They tend to have better disease resistance. They tend to be a bit more standard than the heirloom varieties. So if you're growing for the public or something like that, then people like to have, the consistency in the product. You get that much more with a hybrid. The one thing the hybrid does mean is you can't save the seeds and expect to get the same thing that you grew. You can definitely save the seeds and you can grow them, and you will continue to get food. The seeds, when grown in the next year, will just revert to one of the parent varieties, their characteristics, but you'll still get food. You just won't get what you grew. Whereas if you save the seeds from an heirloom variety, you will get that same thing in the next year, assuming that you did not have cross-pollination and then therefore made hybrid seeds. Next, we have an organic variety. This is the Italian San Marzano, the go-to of sauce tomatoes and one of my all-time favorites. Another Italian variety. This is the Costoluto Genovese, another good sauce tomato, and they are just delicious, and I love the ridges on them. They remind me a lot of the mushroom basket tomato that I love. Then we have another container. This is also an early variety, so this is the Stupice heirloom tomato. So it's only 70 days to maturity, which is nice. These ones were another one. I haven't seen these ones before. So this is an F1. It's called Pompeii. This one is another good sauce one. I'm going to make up a lot of tomato sauce. And this one I thought was neat. It's a little Roma variety, Inca Jewel, which is an F1 hybrid, but also suited to containers. You can still grow in containers and put up enough sauce tomatoes. Now we have the flowers. I've mentioned it in a couple of videos that I love the look and feel of an English cottage garden, going back to my heritage a bit there. My parents are from England, and so I find it very peaceful, and so I picked up a lot of seeds that you would typically see in an English cottage garden because I want to build that out into the backyard and hopefully into the front yard as well. And also I focused on varieties that were good for pollinators and hummingbirds. Last year was the first year in like 15 years of living in this house that I saw a bunch of hummingbirds. I even had one, my best friend and I were sitting out in the backyard on some chairs, and the hummingbird came between us and turned and looked at me, turned and looked at her, and then flew off. And it was just the most amazing experience. So I wanted to grow a bunch of varieties that were going to bring more hummingbirds and bees and other pollinators into the garden. Also just to add the beauty, so it's kind of just win-win. It looks good, it's functional, and it just makes me happy. So we have they're calling them hummingbird foxgloves, just a different mix of those. I do love foxgloves, but they are poisonous. Like, I'm pretty sure every single part of the plant is poisonous, so just be careful and be wary of that if you are growing them. This year was my first year growing poppies. I did the Pandora and the Amazing Gray Poppy from Baker Creek, and wow, I am all in for poppies. So there was 2 more varieties that they had at Renee's garden, so I picked those up. This one was the Lauren's Dark Grape Poppy, and it just was beautiful and very powerful in color. Then I grabbed these ones, a little bit lighter, the Angel's Choir poppies. They just looked really pretty and gorgeous, and I just love the muted kind of colors on them. I'm big on muted colors. I just think it looks so gorgeous, and a lot of the colors in the English cottage garden tend to be more of that muted color, and mine is going to be all in that. I picked up some of the larkspur. One of the things that's growing in my garden this year, and I've put it up on the Instagram account I think a couple of times, are my delphiniums. They are gorgeous. They're like a 2-tone color. I'll put a picture up on the screen here of them. I am completely in love. Larkspur is very closely related, so I grabbed some more of those. Then I have this fragrant 10-week stock. Beautiful. Again, these are in the muted colors. I'm going to have a gloriously epic garden next year in terms of flowers. Salvia, this is the coral nymph, another one that hummingbirds love. We have this is the Mrs. Scott Elliott columbine. I already have some columbine, but these ones were 2-toned, which I just thought was gorgeous. The ones I actually have are this really nice, like, coral pink, and I didn't plant them. No idea where they came from. These are the wedding bells. This is another hummingbird variety. It says they also make good cut flowers for bouquets. Here we have some cathedral bells. I am also growing this year Canterbury bells, which are gorgeous. They are like the foxgloves. They are a biennial, so they will come up in the first year but just pretty much give you greens, and then after they overwinter, in the second year they will bloom. And my Canterbury bells are gorgeous as well. I will put up a picture of those too. Then we have some more foxgloves. This is the Fairy Queen apricot, again going for those muted colors. They're gorgeous. And lastly, but not leastly, we have the Black Watchman hollyhocks, which totally goes against what I said about muted corals, but oh my god, a black hollyhock, like, yes, please. So that's it. That's all the seeds I bought. And I will probably buy more from Renee's. I really love the fact that they call out about the container varieties and have a focus on that. I love that they give you different seeds in one package so you don't have to buy 2, and that they color code them so you can tell the difference. And yeah, I'm pretty smitten with these. If you're looking for ideas of other things you can put in the ground in July, you can check out this video over here. And if you want to know how to grow your own ginger, which is great for growing in containers, you can check out my video up here. I still have that same ginger plant growing in this room. So that's it for today. I have to go get those other 2 GreenStalks set up. So until next time, don't forget to enjoy the little things and go out there and make food grow. Bye guys.